The women's team has managed only one win this season, but that is still quite the accomplishment considering the roster contains only 5 players, at least up until last week. Holly Santos has joined the team for the stretch run, but Coach Jenni Ozug still doesn't have many options off the bench. Coach Ozug and sophomore Benita Langston sat down to talk about the season and the difficulty of playing with no subs.
Despite numbers and despite the record, it's actually going very well. Considering we only have 5 players, it's a struggle every game, but big improvement from last year, just in how the team came together and how the girls are gelling together, and big improvement from what I had last year. So it's very difficult. I try to use a lot of timeouts if possible to give them a breather, but it's very difficult. You know, someone gets into foul trouble or someone falls out or someone's having an off game and I don't have anything, there's nothing I can really do for them except, you know, call a timeout and try to settle them down and get their heads back in it, but it is hard with 5. They lose steam, which is expected, but I'm still happy at how they push through every game. We do have a lot of really good competitors in our league. Roxbury Community College is always a nationally ranked. UConn at Avery Point is a nationally ranked team every year. So we do have a couple that are in the top 20, which there's not much you can do about those teams regardless. So we do have a lot of good competition. I feel like a lot of our games, if I had a couple subs, would definitely have been wins for us if I had a sub or 2 along the way. Everywhere I go, if it's a high school game or a recruiting tournament or just out with people that I know, I just try to always talk about it and spread the word. Being from around here, I do know a lot of high school coaches and assistant coaches in the area, so it helps to know people. They kind of spread the word for me. Last season, I also did create a BCC basketball Facebook group, so I try to add students, current students from the school and my players and potential players, try to update that if possible and get the word out there. We do, for all the open houses at BCC, there's always an athletics table. Our athletic director and work study kids are there trying to, get some interest and spread the word to new students as well.
Season of Right is hard, really hard with no subs, and it's really, really hard. Like, it comes down to only 5 players, and knowing I'm only point guard and taking out the ball and trying to call plays is really, really hard. I actually came from another school, and I left from that other school. I didn't play there, but because of financial problems, but I came most likely come here to finish school and get a degree and most likely play basketball because I've been wanting to do this for so long and play for college, and I'm kind of excited that I did. Great experience. It's important because she's been through it. She's been through a year. She kind of knew my coaching style from last year. She knew what to expect, and I think she definitely helped with the players, the first-year players this year, to get them ready for the games, talking about what the teams were like, kind of what to expect. And she's a great role model in general. She works 2 jobs. She's got a really high GPA and just sets such an example on and off the court.
As a 2-year starter and captain for the BCC women's basketball program, she averaged 8 points, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 steal, and 1 rebound per game, all while maintaining well above 3.0 GPA in her time here at BCC. As a team leader, she remained positive, encouraging others to keep their heads up, and her never-give-up attitude has kept this team on track throughout the season. She is truly a prime example of a well-rounded student athlete, and we would like to thank her for her efforts over the last 2 years. Number 3, Benita Langston, escorted by Kenny and CJ.
Get exercise and get you in shape for like most of the year, and it's good on traveling. You get to meet people and see things you've never done before. It's a great experience, especially if you love the game, so I would recommend it, especially. It's good. It's a good way for other people to see you maybe and how you are. I think it's a great idea. Knowing that basketball is like my main priority right now, I just make sure I'm always here, most importantly, and then schoolwork, obviously I go to class and go to school and make sure my grades is up there, and then once I know I'm passing everything, then second's basketball, and I make sure I come to every practice if I can. Then I'll talk to coaches about it, but I don't stop anything. I don't make excuses. So I'm dedicated. So I'm like dedicated.
The team I thought I was going to have this year with girls that I thought were coming back is completely different than what I ended up with. And even you start with a number of players and their grades slip midway, and then you end up pulling some girls during, in January just to fill spots, and it's really difficult to get girls and to keep girls, and the team is totally different every year. I tell them you can come here and you're going to play. You're going to play a lot right away. It gives you a chance to get some of your core classes out of the way before you go to a four-year school, really figure out what you want to do, save yourself a ton of money in 2 years. That seems to be a big selling point for community colleges. And then I also try to just push, this is still a new program, and the players that come in are basically part of the foundation for this program. They're not walking into a program that's been around 40, 50 years. This is something brand new that they're going to help develop, they're going to help build and mold this program in their years here. I mean, everybody wants to win. I wish we had more wins than we did, but I've told them a couple of times there's only, I think, 2% of high school kids that get the chance to go on to play at any college level. So just the fact that they're able to do this is an experience for them, and hopefully it'll kind of set a foundation for them to go on and play somewhere else. I tell them, the wins, it would be great to have wins, but 20 years from now, I'm not going to remember scores, I'm not going to remember stats, but I'm going to remember like the girls that I spent 5 months with and the road trips, and those are the things you're going to remember instead of the wins and losses of each season.